Hey everybody. This is Flashback Monday. Yay! Woohoo! Flashback Monday. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina KRISTINA. And this is where we read series books, we talk series books, no special effects. Once in a while I try and do a little thing, but I have no theme music, no special lighting. My audio's bad. It just sucks. So I just need your like and support. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Almost 10 months doing this now, and this is where I stand. So sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So I need everybody's support. Please join the channel. And I'm up here today. My co-host is here, but he's down below. And he's taking a spot. It's bigger today. Wait a second. You gonna say hi? Just to say hi. He's my only baby boy now. I was talking about my other baby boy that died of seizures and epilepsy and all that stuff that came out quite suddenly. Quite suddenly. So it's a sunny day here, and we're doing Flashback Monday, and don't forget Star Trek Fridays, Next Generation series. I'm a series person. I like to binge series. I like to read series books. And Flashback Mondays, and then my daily book reviews. So we'll see what happens. So today we're doing, let's take a look here. So this is Flashback Monday, and we're doing September 2007. I've explained before, this is my book Bible. I lived and breathed by this. Some of you may live and breathe by Goodreads today, but this was the equivalent to Goodreads way back when. This was the magazine. I still read it every day. It's the best. It was the best. Apparently September was a good month for me. I bought a lot. So let's check this out now. CHERYL HOLT. Now, what did I do with them? Oh. So I went looking for this one, Forbidden Fantasy, and my records say I have it, but I cannot find it. However, I do have all of these, and we will talk about these later. Okay, so here we are. Like I said, I can read this book for hours. It's the best magazine. Oh, a little mention here, up here in the corner. Emma Holly. Fairyville. That's the wish you were here in bed. That's the wish that plagues Zoe Clare, a medium who has no trouble communicating with the dead or with real-life fairies for that matter. The problem is she can't seem to get her feelings across to her landlord/manager, the mysterious Magnus Monroe. He's Fairyville's most eligible and sexiest bachelor, and Zoe's tired of watching him celebrate each full moon with just about every woman in town but her. In a place like Fairyville, his erotic antics are almost par for the course, but Zoe suspects the reason for them runs deeper. Even when Magnus gets her hotter than the desert sun, he holds back from the ultimate intimacy. As a result, the return of Zoe's high school flame leaves her more than a little vulnerable to her old boyfriend's charms. How Alex broke her heart is a scandal no one in Fairyville has forgotten. But even if Zoe isn't ready to forget, she's ready to forgive. The rules they're about to break will bring out the jealousy in Magnus and the astounding truth. Bones to Ashes, Kathy Reichs. Now I have a bunch of Kathy Reichs, but I couldn't find this one. Alright. Stephanie Lawrence, Beyond Seduction. Please check out my podcast for the Bastion Club. That was one of the first ones I did. In a moment of recklessness, Travis Travasic's Earl of Groha swears he will marry the next eligible lady to cross his path. Cloistered at his ancestral castle in Cornwall with a nary suitable woman for miles, he never expects he'll have to fulfill his pledge, at least not until the London season begins. But then he meets his neighbor, the very appealing Magdalene Gascoigne. Book 6 in the Bastion Club, by the way. But check out my Sinister Bastion Club. I ran through all of them earlier this year. Please check out that vid. Tawny Taylor, Real Vamps Don't Drink O-Neg. I couldn't find it. My records say I have it. But Kathy Love. Huh. I only have Fangs for You. We'll do these later. I can't find the one that's in the book. Fangs, but no fangs. What a Demon Wants. So we'll do those later. Hannah Howell, I can't find them. Oh, wait a minute. It might be over here. Oh, look, there it is. Here we go. Hannah Howell. My Immortal Highlander. We'll be doing this with the Lindsay Sand series. So all these books I bought in 2007 and I still own. Alright. My next lady, Miss Moaning. The one mentioned here is Blood Fever. I used to think my sister and I were just two nice Southern girls who get married in a few years and settle down to a quiet life. Then I discovered Elenia, and I descended not from good wholesome Southern stock, but from an ancient Celtic bloodline of powerful seed seers, people who can see the Fae. Not only can I see the terrifying otherworldly race, but I can sense the sacred Fae relics that hold the deadliest of their magic. And we will be doing Caribbean Moaning soon. So, alright, Mary Janice Davidson. I didn't do this branch. I did the Queen. Undead and Unwelcome, Undead and Uneasy, Undead, and those are over there. So, I also wanted to bring up, and I will do this series later in more depth. What do I do with it? Tess Garrison and James Patterson have something in common. They both write women's murder mystery series. Tess Garrison does Rizzoli and Isles, and James Patterson does the Women's Murder Club. And they've both had Angie Harmon star as the star in their episode. Please don't step on my computer. So, here we are. The Women's Murder Club. Women's Murder Club Friday nights. Now, when this only lasted like not even a season, I think maybe a season, maybe I don't think it went more than 2. I'm positive. Then Angie Harmon went over and did Rizzoli and Isles, and that lasted a few years until one of their actors died. How did the decision to do a TV series based on Women's Murder Club books come about? Were you surprised given that a TV movie based on books aired several years ago that there was interest in this property? Patterson says, my business partner and I go out to Hollywood on a fairly regular basis to talk about the growing interest in my stories there. ABC saw great potential in the Women's Murder Club and two great writers, Liz Fain and Sarah Kraft, to work writing the pilot. I wasn't surprised that there was an interest, but I was surprised in a good way when ABC picked up 13 episodes for the lineup. What do you think of Angie Harmon as Lindsay Boxer? Angie Harmon is terrific. Lindsay Boxer is a multi-dimensional character, and I think this role gives Angie the opportunity to play a smart, quick-witted, and emotional, much more so than her great but mostly one-dimensional role on Law and Order. That is until she goes to Tess Garrison, Rosalie Niles. And we will be doing the Murder Club. This is the first one, First to Die, then we have Second Chance, Third Degree, and so on. We will be doing these in my series. I'm a series person. I read series. I like to binge series. I like to read the progression of series. Characters as they grow, right? So, I'm going to get a whole bunch of books this week. My library is having a 4 for $1 sale. I got some Regencies coming my way. All right, Candace Hearn. Lady Be Bad. The widow of a famous bishop, Grace Marlowe, is both shocked and intrigued by the amorous adventures of her fellow merry widows. Though she has agreed to their pact, she can't imagine giving herself over to passion until the most notorious libertine in London sets his sights on her. John Grayson's 7th Viscount Rochdale has never refused a wager, especially one that involves enticing a beautiful woman into his bed. He's willing to stake his most prized possession that there's not a single woman in all of England immune to his charms. But when the object of the wager is prim and proper Grace Marlowe, he has to turn on the full force of his seductive allure. Oh, that has a companion. Just one of those flings. Again, I'm a series person. Alright, we will be doing this lady at some point in the series. And I have a huge, huge, huge pet peeve with him. I own them all. Disclaimer there, I own them all. I bought them all when they were all first coming in. But it was pointed out to me, there are two things that are consistent with the series. And that is a huge issue that I've discovered that when I do the series, we'll get into it. But the Carpathians, where it's at, there's over 30-something books right now, I believe. She's got 10 different, she's got the Carpathians, she's got the game, she's got the animal, the animal series, the sister series with the spirit, the water thing. Then she did the set with the brothers, I believe. So there's a ton of books out there. She's probably written close to 100 or more and sold billions of copies. But when I do this series as a standalone series, I will point out the huge thing. And I will go through each book and find the page for you where it's actually physically done. Because it's just, once you point it out to somebody, they're like, oh yeah, you're right. But then again, the books were done in the 80s. Although I read one of her books recently, and I was like, on the first page, they're having intercourse in an elevator. I put it back. I was like, nah. But anyways, Dark Possession, Carpathian. So we'll get to this one. Oh, the Dela Cruz brothers. Okay. So there's a full article in here about FEEHAN. So Trinidad Cornero. She has a vampire series way back when. If you can find them, those books are worth a couple pennies. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring these over. Okay, so each month they do historical ratings. So the pink is historical. And the top four, Lorraine Heath, Wicked Enough, just Wicked Enough. Penniless Michael Terrain, the Marquis of Falcon Ridge, auctions off the only thing of value he has, his title and himself. Wealthy American Kate Rose's father might buy her a husband, but she wants a marriage of love, not convenience. 4.5 stars. Beyond Seduction. 4.5 stars. To satisfy his three sisters, Gravis, the Earl of Crowhurst, agrees to marry the first compatible woman he meets, his neighbor. We talked about this one already. The sisters are sabotaging the mills and doing all the sabotaging, so he'll have to stay in town. CHERYL HOLT, Forbidden Fantasy. Like I said, I couldn't find it. But I found all these, and we'll talk about those later. Elizabeth Boyle. Oh, I didn't even look for this. I know I have it. Young Felicity Langley boldly writes a proposal to the Duke of Holland Drake, but it's his grandfather who gets her missive, and he's amused. He begins a correspondence with Felicity in his grandson's name that leads to a betrothal. When Thatcher returns home from war and discovers he's engaged, he rushes to break the engagement. His threadbare clothing makes Felicity think he's applying for the job of footman in her impoverished household. Intrigued by Felicity, Thatcher agrees to become her servant. I've got this over there someplace. Love Letters from a Duke. And apparently it's book 3 in the series. Something about Emmeline, who happens to be the new character in The Breakers that I'm doing. Elizabeth Boyle, This Rake of Mine. And Love Letters from a Duke. So we'll do those two. Alright. So, oh, and it got all these got Just Wicked Enough, Lorraine Heath. I probably have that one over there too. Serpent Prince, Elizabeth Hoyt. Saban Seduction, Stephanie Lawrence, and CHERYL HOLT, Forbidden Fantasy, all got 4.5 stars. So, Monica McCarty. I couldn't. Oh, Highlander Unmasked. I don't seem to have. Wait, let me look. Here it is. Here we go. Highlander Unmasked. Alex McLeod, virile physique, fearsome reputation, and renowned fighting skills have helped him master a perfection the role of a hardened mercenary on a secret mission to protect his clan. He must keep his true purpose well hidden, but his dangerous endeavor is threatened by a beautiful woman he saves from outlaws, never dreaming she will appear at court and put his plans in jeopardy. 4 stars. Candace Camp, The Marriage Wager. Oh, I did a whole podcast on host, didn't I? So yeah, these are over there. I'm gonna let that go. It got 4 stars. Since the death of her father, Constance Woodley has lived with relatives who treat her as unpaid servant. At 28, she considers herself on the shelf, but things change when she accompanies the family to London and meets Lady Francesca Houghton at a ball. Under Francesca's tutelage, Constance is transformed into a lovely, fascinating woman. Lord Dominic Leighton, Francesca's rakish brother, enjoys a flirtation with Constance that soon sparks into desire. And that was 4 stars. I was heavily into historical. Oh, here we go. Here's our Monica McCarthy Highlander series. So it's Highlander Untamed, Highlander Unmasked, Unmasked, and Highlander Unchained. Again, I'm a series person. I read series. So here we go. Here's the three of them. There you go. All three of them. Mainstream fiction. I never read mainstream. Well, sometimes. I've been doing a lot of that lately. The Apothecary. That was a good. What was that? Sarah Penner. That was really good. The Maidstone Lighthouse. Sally Smith O'Rourke. 4.5 stars. When her fiance dies in a plane crash, Sue Mark heads to Freedman's Cove, Rhode Island, to the home she inherited from her great aunt, at home filled with pleasant memories of the summer she spent there. Then Sue starts receiving visits from the ghost of one of her ancestors, a young woman who died tragically. As she reconnects with Dan Freeman, a man she knew during her childhood, Sue learns to let go of the past. 4.5 stars. The View from Mount Joy. Lorna Landvik. 4.5 stars. Joe Anderson and his mother moved to Minneapolis after his father dies in a plane accident in 1970. Suddenly, Joe's at a new high school attempting to make friends. He and Darva, a free-spirited artist, become pals, but Joe has always been attracted to Krista, a bubbly blonde cheerleader. Deliver Me from Evil. Mary Monroe. 4.5 stars. Christine is grateful that her husband Jesse Ray rescued her from a life as a poor, sex-crazed, love-starved teen. But even though she lives in luxury now, she's still unhappy, and when JR moves his greedy family into their home, Christine's thoughts turn from first love, a thug named Wade, but a plan to use Wade to fill the void created by JR's alienation backfires. Odd Mom Out. Jane Porter. 4.5 stars. Marta Zissner has never questioned the way she's lived her life. She wanted a child, so she visited the sperm bank. Now said child is 9 going on 19 and desperately wants her mother to fit into her new Stepford surroundings. What do you think? Inspirational. Those are the red pages there. Days and Hours. Susan Meissner. Meissner. Attorney Rachel Flynn is called in to help with the cause of a newborn found alive in a trash bin. The twist is that the newborn's young single mother has a history of drug addiction. Claims the baby was kidnapped. Rachel has a dream that leads her to believe the mother is telling the truth. When the Morning Comes. Cindy Wood Small. 4 stars. Hannah Lapp was forced to leave her home and family due to events that were out of her control. She finds refuge with her Aunt Zebeth in Ohio. She too was an outcast of the Amish faith. Meanwhile, her father refuses to look for her, and Hannah's sister struggles with her quilt to the point that it is making her unstable. Karen Kingsbury. Just Beyond the Clouds. 3 stars. Cody Gunner is a crossroads in his life. The bull riding circuit doesn't appeal anymore, so he decides to come home and maybe start up a gym for Down syndrome adults like his brother Carl Joseph. Carl Joseph attends a center with the goal of becoming independent, which Cody finds difficult to believe is possible. Science fiction. And I will tell you that the science fiction section is more fantasy than it is science fiction. Although, Invasive Procedures, Orson Scott Card. Now that's definitely science fi. With Aaron Johnston. A police officer investigates an abandoned warehouse and becomes infected with a deadly virus. The secret lab belongs to George Galen, once a brilliant pioneer in genetic therapy, but now insane and using his virus to create a new and improved human race. The Innocent Mage. Karen Miller. 4.5 stars. In the kingdom of lore, the race boundaries are clear. The Darnan use magic and the Oaken are magicless. Yet unbeknownst to all, Oaken do possess magic and they know an apocalypse is coming. One that will start with the arrival of the innocent mage. Then we have romantic suspense in orange. There you go. Karen Rose, Die for Me. When the police need her help to search a field for buried bodies, archaeologist Sophie Johansson becomes involved in a case that cuts too close to her field of expertise. Sophie is horrified to discover the victims were tortured using medieval Inquisition devices. Patricia Sargent, 4.5 stars, On Fire. Sharon McCabe enjoys being an investigative reporter until her boss assigns a senator's non-journalistic nephew to replace her. Matthew Payton is the new captain charged with investigating a string of suspicious fires. His supervisors are as quick to call the fires accidental as Sharon's editor is to threaten her with further demotions if she continues to go to the fire scenes. Karen Rose, Die for Me. Now, I have a whole bunch of Kathy Reichs, but I could not find this one. Bones to Ashes. Forensic anthropologist Tempe is helping Canadian police investigate the disappearance of 3 young women and the possible murder of 3 others when a detective asks her to look at a weathered human skeleton to see if she can determine identity and cause of death. Her examination of the skeleton reminds her of a childhood Canadian friend who mysteriously disappeared from their summer vacation home in South Carolina. Tempe and Booth, or Bones and Booth, Bones TV show. It ran for years. David Barronge, I can't remember, but they were good. That was a good show. Carolyn Haynes, the Reverend, devastated by her daughter's death, reporter Carson returns to Bixby, Mississippi in search of a new beginning. Working for a local paper and seeking solace in the bottle, Carson receives a series of mediocre assignments until a potentially career-making story falls into her lap. The skeleton remains of 5 women are discovered buried beneath a local Night Spots parking lot. Each wears a bridal veil and is missing a ring finger. Leslie Edsel Banks. Laura Caldwell and husband James Carter are the primary caretakers of Laura's family, which includes an elderly uncle, cousins, and cousins-to-be. War has been declared on the family because of lucrative land holdings, and problems arise when American mobsters, crooked government officials, and a group of Jamaican mobsters who happen to be members of their own family all decide they should own the land. And that's No Trust. 4.5 stars. And we will be doing this series at some point. I love Meg Langzo. Donna Andrews, the penguin who knew too much. Contemporary romance. Total Control, Pamela Britton. NASCAR bad boy Todd Peters meets his match when he disappoints one of Indy Wilcott's clients. Indy Works for Miracles, an organization that grants wishes for seriously ill children. Determined to get Todd to fulfill his promise to meet with one of her kids, Indy is surprised when he not only does, but becomes involved in the boy's life as well. Unforgettable, Julie Ortolan. Riley left Hope, Texas 11 years ago, vowing to never return. Yet here she is living in her grandmother's house and singing at the local restaurant. When she left, she harbored unrequited love for nerdy Jackson Hope, but she thinks the years away have put an end to that until she sees him again. Jennelle Davidson, Born to be Wild. Ex-Marine turned security specialist Joel Wilde thrives on the high wire thrills that come with his job, and isn't about to give that all up to settle down. Not even with a sexy woman like Laura Marshall, which means that while he's protecting her from a violent gang, he'll need to set up a few ground rules to keep things going professional. Too wild to tame. Mia Wilde has a reputation for being wild, but that doesn't mean she's going to let someone get away with disturbing proactive photographs of her. She needs to find out who is threatening her before her overprotective brothers find out. And oh, that was HERN. So those were the two. There's more. There's a series. And that was 4.5 stars. Susan Anderson, 4 stars, Coming Undone. Although they haven't seen each other in 15 years, neither security expert Jared Hamilton nor rising country star Priscilla Jane have forgotten each other. Neela Singh, Caressed by Ice. Before he took his family and dropped out of the pissnet, Judd Lauren was an arrow and elite assassin. He expected to be killed by the changeling snow dancer Wolfpack, but the children were welcome and he was tolerated. Did I get this one? Sorry. Oh, they're up there. I'll get to it later. Shadows on the Soul. Long ago, when Eli close to the cremate the Guardians, vampires who do not kill it meant that he had to eliminate his killer son, Gabriel. Eli's attempt ended in failure and bitter enmity with Gabriel. Jenna Black. Shadows on the Soul. Book 3 in the series. I'm a series person. Hungers of the Heart. 1. Secrets and Shadows. 2. Shadows in the Soul. Gabriel is a 500-year-old vampire with the soul of a killer. He has defeated his mother in a battle for territory of Baltimore and vowed to take vengeance upon his father, the Master of Philadelphia, for a centuries-old betrayal. 4.5 stars. We did Dark Possession. Got 4.5 stars. And Jennifer Ashley. I don't seem to have Immortals The Gathering. I have mostly Amanda Ashley. But I do have Primates and Primal Bonds. But she got 4 stars for The Gathering. Immortals The Gathering. Hunter, the final missing immortal brother, is summoned and winds up dumped on an island in a cage with a lion. Much to the dismay of reclusive witch leader Stowe, although tempted to stay on the island and explore their growing attraction, they know that evil is taking over the world. As the mortals attempt to gather, they are stymied by the insane brother Tane and his demon master. Alright, Susan Sizemore. Primal Desires. In Las Vegas, Jason Cage is known as the Beastmaster, but his onstage feats of magic are nothing compared to the abilities he keeps hidden from human eyes. Jason is prime of his vampire family and once used his telepathic abilities to tame wild werewolves. It's taken talent that leads him to beautiful, sensual Sophia Hanarian, who instantly triggers all of Jason's primal urges. Susan Sizemore. My immortal. Do I have? Let's see. Oh, these are Cassie Love. I keep looking for these books that I can't find them. I know I have them. MCCARTY, 3 stars. Damon has made a bargain for eternal life. In the past 200 years, his job has been to promote sin, lust, and sexual desires. Jean Johnston, I had this at one time. TAWNY, Jean Johnston, after being drugged, starved, and kidnapped by a miscellaneous group of matinees, Dominar is not sure having the ship attacked by Italian slavers is a bad thing. I think I got rid of that one. Real Vamps Don't Drink Own Negative, Tawny Taylor, 3 stars. Sophie is a paranormal researcher who doesn't believe in paranormal, but as she investigates why her best friend Deo is ill, she discovers that vampires are real. I couldn't find this one either, but I had it at one point. JC Burton. Paranormal section. Bloody Return. I didn't know Charlene Harris did that. So that's the end of this. So please check out. They also did the Harlequins. There's a whole several pages of Harlequins, and then they had adult situations in the back. Real adult situations. Might have been nice to get paid for reading on the adult side. But they used to have these things, and it's been mentioned in a couple of the books that we've done. The conventions. They used to have all the authors come. It was great. They had all this hotel and stuff, and everybody would go to. So I hope you enjoyed Flashback Monday. As you can see, I own quite a few of these books still, and the series still. So there won't be too many special effects in this one at all. But I need your like and support. There's no one else for me but you guys, the general public. There's no one else who's going to support me, so I need you to like and subscribe, hit the like and buttons, and check out Star Trek Fridays, Next Generation. We're doing season 4. Almost Human is our next one, and Flashback Mondays and our daily book reviews. I read a book, talk about it. That's all I got to do. I have no special effects, no theme music, nothing going on like that. I like to read the series progression. So please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you.